Hello, and welcome to another episode of this Smugcast. On this week's show, we'll maybe talk Hillary and Trump. We'll talk some NFL and Colin Kaepernick. And I'll talk about how two of my sons disappointed me this week. And one of them may just be a psychopath. I'm Dan, and with me again are all my sons. Jordan.
Oh, hello, everybody. I am the son that didn't do anything this week, so congratulations, me.
Jeremy.
Hey.
Justin.
What's up?
And Jared.
Wait, did I do something?
It is not you.
Wait.
What the fuck? Okay, so that means it's us. I'm already triggered.
You two are pieces of shit.
The middle children, of course.
Right? Always get the shit.
I'm perfect.
Because you're the baby.
Alright, so wait a minute. What did we do?
Alright, hold on. So, last week, our first episode debuted. And I just want to thank everyone who gave it a listen. Even though you had to wait longer than we wanted to. We had some technical difficulties.
Just a few.
So, this is pointed towards Justin.
Alright.
You suck.
Who takes 7 days to edit an hour-long show? And nobody could hear the other boys half the time.
Okay, so it's not as easy as it looks to do the stuff I do. Took me a little bit of time.
Sleep all day?
Okay, first of all, I go to work and I go to school. I go to school 3 days out of the week for 4 hours, almost. Then I go to work every day for between 8 to 10 hours.
I think you should clarify that it's 3 days, 4 hours each day, not just 3 days and then 4 hours in total.
Well, okay, sure. 3 days.
That clarification is a little important.
Either way,
Wait a
3
minute.
days out of my work week are completely unusable for this recording process.
I go to
Do you-
school 5 days a week for like 6 hours, have
You-
band and work.
Do you remember this conversation? Hey, Justin, are you going to edit that today? Nah, I'm going to play Overwatch.
Listen.
Do you not remember that?
No, I remember this conversation, but listen, it's very important.
He had to get his KD up.
Gotta
I
get
have
that KD going.
I have to get some gaming in during the week because I only do work all week.
Because then he's not a true neckbeard.
All work and no play. It makes Justin very sad.
You need that 1.0 KD, guys. 1.0.
Can we just say that maybe this week we can edit it a little bit quicker?
I'm hoping to have it up by Monday. If not Monday, I'm thinking Tuesday, Wednesday.
at some
so
point
by
in the week.
Wednesday
At the latest.
at the latest.
At the latest.
How
Hopefully it's Monday.
reassuring. How reassuring.
Look, I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of stuff on my plate.
On the real though, isn't like 1.0 KD like bad? Because it's just like every time you kill, you die. So like you're just kind of butt-ass medium.
Yeah, but it's better than having like a 0.75.
Yeah, but then you're just like average as hell.
The majority of people that play these kind of games have less than like a 1.0. So
I think I
you're
have like
fine.
a 9.
You know, I didn't understand one word that either one of you just said.
Look,
right
you
there.
just want to kill more than you get killed. That's just how it is.
You just want to be MLG, get your Doritos, Mountain Dew, and go fucking hard.
360 no scope.
360. No scope.
MLG life. Gotta live it. What, you don't know? You don't know
No,
about the
I don't know.
MLG?
I don't know any
You
of
don't,
that
you don't
stuff.
love that MLG?
Remember, I used to play Tomb Raider.
You played Tomb Raider a couple months ago.
Was it? No, I haven't played Tomb Raider in a couple of years.
You should be able to get the new one come like December, November.
Yeah, that's a while away now. And I wanted to play Hitman, but
But it's episodic.
it's episodic. I'm not
God.
going to pay $60 and then have to pay $40 more.
Can we
and
talk
then
about how
$40
awful
more.
episodic gaming is?
It's trash.
It is the worst thing in
But
the
doesn't
world.
the whole game come out at one point?
Yeah.
Eventually.
But after everything's come out on its own. Jeremy, what's your input?
I don't like episodic gaming. Yeah, it sucks.
I don't know if I have a problem with it. It just depends on the length of each episode, the length of
Episodes.
each episode, how long and each installment is. If I can get like 15, 20 hours out of like one episode installment for a game like that, I'd take that as a win.
How much does it cost, though? If you're paying $60 for 15 hours, I'd be a little bit upset.
Well, I mean, look like the God of War games. You pay $60 for what? Maybe be 10 hours of playtime for your
Yeah, they
first
shoot for about
playthrough?
8 to 10 hours of playtime.
So, I mean, what's the difference between an episodic game and something like that?
You didn't pay $60 for those, though, because those were PS2. And, like, beginning of PS3, they were only, like, 40.
Wrong. Beginning of PS3 cycle was still like $60 a PS3 game.
Now PS3 were like $50.
They-
No,
no.
It's
It's
definitely gone up a lot.
We used to buy them for you guys for Christmas. It was between $40 and $50.
It was a lot less.
In the PS2 era, it was even less. I think PS2 era was typically around 30 to 40.
No, I think PS2 was still like $40 for a brand new game.
Yeah, but how
Yeah,
do we
you
buy
could get them
brand new?
between $29.99 and $39.99.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't know, like.
God of War is fun, so you can't even talk shit about that.
Well,
I'm
God of
not-
War is fun, and it was a shorter experience, but it was a fun experience to have at a lower price point. What we're talking about is these $60 games that are only 8 hours in length, like 1986 that came out a long time ago.
Oh, I heard everybody hated.
Everyone
that game.
hated it because it was a $60 game that was like 5 hours long.
I don't even know what that is.
Wasn't it like
Exactly.
no? It was like the Order, like 1886.
Order
right?
1886 or 1986, something like
Well,
that.
Final Fantasy VII, the remake for that, they're gonna be releasing that episodically,
And
which I think
I'm-
is total bullshit.
I'm so triggered about the whole thing about Final Fantasy VII.
Well, it should be
You're triggered
turn-based,
about-
man.
you're
It should be
Like, turn-based.
turn-based. Bring it back.
I want to see how it's implemented. I'm all for innovation.
No, we
I
got
haven't liked
15
any
for
Final
innovation.
Fantasy game
Final
after
Fantasy.
10. I think that's when they stopped doing the turn-based style game.
That's when they did.
Yeah.
But like we have Final Fantasy 15 coming out. That's gonna be the hack and slash cool, innovative new JRPG. So also release Final Fantasy 7, the remake, to bring it back old school. You don't have
I-
to innovate with every game, man.
I don't think that's true. I think if you're trying to make a remake to reach a broader generation of gamers, you have to innovate.
No.
You can't just rehash the same thing over. And yes, they're going to have throwbacks to the classic elements, but you have to try to keep moving forward. You have to push your envelope for your product.
I'm gonna argue with you. You do not have to change it because Nintendo didn't change Punch Out.
Punch Out. Now
Punch
you're talking
Out.
my game.
All right, so
now
Punch
you're
Out.
talking my game.
Punch Out came for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it was just punching stuff. They released another version of Punch Out on the Wii or the Wii U that was basically the same game with a graphical update, and it was
Because it's
amazing.
awesome. And
That's
you can
because-
still not beat Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's not in it. Instead, the final boss is Donkey Kong
The final boss is Donkey Kong.
because they couldn't get the Mike Tyson to
Mike
do it
Tyson
again.
wouldn't sell his name, please. The guy needs some money.
For
so
some reason, they
desperately.
don't have him.
Just
I don't know.
The difference
Maybe
here
because
is
he's a rapist, so they didn't
Yeah.
want to use his name anymore.
What?
the difference here is Nintendo's kind of a shit company where nothing's changed since they started.
But
So when you have a company that does like to
oh
change
please,
the
Mister, I play every new Pokemon game.
Yeah, and nothing really changes. It's still stupid fun, but nothing changes.
Here's the thing,
Well,
though.
there's your point exactly. You don't have to change it in order for it to be fun.
I'm saying the legacy of Square Enix, or Squaresoft and Square Enix, is to change each installment. Even if it's a remake, they push their stuff forward. They tried not to do, at least in the last 20 years, since like 97, they try to not do the same thing over and over. And that's what they're doing. And plus, with all the hardware that they're working with, they want to try to use that to its fullest capacity. And a stationary turn-based isn't going to be using their
Yeah, but
software to the same
I think
level.
we're all just scared that it's gonna suck or turn out like X2, which was a terrible fucking game.
Or it's gonna turn out like 13, 13
13-2,
2,
which
13
is
3,
terrible.
Lightning Returns, the
I
worst
just
game
think
ever
you're
made.
butthurt for no reason, Justin.
I think a lot of people are
I don't
worried-
want to pay. What is it? $180? Gotta buy 3 different games for the new Final Fantasy VII remake. All this hype, we're waiting forever for it, and then when it does come out, we're gonna get to play what? A little. I mean, are they gonna
We're gonna
split
get
it
to-
up by disc?
You're gonna
'Cause
get to
then-
play through Midgar when they finally release
Yeah,
the first
exactly.
game.
You won't
Ooh.
even get that much of an open world experience.
You guys are judging a game based on speculation at best. There's no
Well,
real
yeah.
information
Yeah,
out
of
there.
course. The game's not out yet.
Again, you're pre-deciding your disposition towards this game.
No. I'm upset about their decisions they've made so far. I'm upset about the decision they made to go away from turn-based combat. I'm upset about the decision they made to release episodically. Those are both valid concerns that I have.
Slow your roll for a minute. I think you need to wait till you have the finished product. You can disagree with the decision, but I don't think you should trash the game and wear your nostalgia glasses until you see the actual product.
Yeah, I think you're butthurt for no reason.
It's not no reason, but I am butthurt. I'll give you that one.
You are very butthurt. Remember that podcast you showed me where the guy was super butthurt?
Oh,
That's
he
who you're
got
turning into.
so mad.
That is who you're turning into.
No, I'm not gonna start crying.
I'm waiting for it.
Wait, what?
Oh, dude, don't. It's a different. I'll show you later.
Okay.
So, back to defending myself.
There is no
This-
defense.
This podcast will come up when it's damn well ready, and it will have everyone nice and edited, and it'll be really good.
All right.
Why don't you
I'm
just
looking
do
forward
it
to it.
tomorrow during the Bears game, since we know you won't be watching that?
I mean, I could. I'm probably going to, honestly.
Yeah,
There you
you
go.
might as well.
Yeah.
If you
Did-
get out of bed before.
Can we just point out what he just did? That
I totally just selfied and took a Snapchat
Podcast
during this
selfie.
podcast.
that mid podcast selfie, bruh.
I got Jordan in it though, so it's fine. Ain't
Right?
bad.
That's right. Nobody pays attention to his Snapchats anyway.
Oh,
Olivia does.
Except for Olivia.
She screenshots them all because I'm so damn handsome.
That's dangerous. Don't be sending nothing dirty.
send
So
everything dirty.
irresistibly pudgy.
Please don't any skinny one here.
Yeah.
Nah, all right. You got us there.
Y'all fit in a 29 skinny jeans?
I could lose to drop a few. You know, I could go with that.
I said that was really mean.
Again, you're 16. Wait like 3 years.
Yeah.
It'll catch up
You'll
to
end
you.
up like all of us.
Oh, so,
Explain to us why.
Why
your
is
sons are
Jeremy on the
disappointments.
Why is Jeremy on the back burner tonight?
Jeremy is a disappointment to me.
In general, that's
You can
just
stop
a
right
general
there,
statement. You can just stop there.
Sounds good.
So last week, his cousin texted him. And what was that text? What did he say to you?
I think it was something along the lines of, if you get a wild streak, you should come to Tinley Park and check out the Prophets of Rage. Tickets for like box seats were like $10.
Right. And when did you read that text message?
Yeah, I think he sent it to me at like 7. And I didn't look at it till like 9:30 or something like that.
Oh.
I'm really pissed about it. I wish we could have gone and seen the Prophets of Rage. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, and then it also turns out I read on the day after or 2 days after that Tim from Rise Against came on stage and played with him too.
Oh yeah, that was on his Instagram.
Yeah.
No.
So I missed the Prophets of Rage and I missed him
For $10.
for $10
Ouch.
because Jeremy won't check his damn phone.
You
He
dick.
doesn't check our emails when we send him during the week. He doesn't check his text messages when we send them.
I'm not a tech.
His
I'm
phone
not a
is-
tech guy, man.
Hey,
I
how
live
come
in
you
the
didn't
now.
How
you
come you
know?
didn't answer me? Because my phone is dead every time. Yeah, my phone's not
He just
charged.
wants
I
his
don't-
beer and his like
I don't need
telegraph.
technology to live my life,
the little
man.
clicky thing.
Whoa, hippie.
I don't understand how someone could not have a phone charged as often as you.
I just
Like,
who the fuck ever called? I mean,
Do you
there's this
ever-
one instance in which someone told me that.
do you ever plug it in? Is my question. Like,
But
don't you plug it in when you go to
Honestly,
bed?
if I'm not with you, I probably am not talking to you. That's usually how.
I just don't get it.
I was-
Like, I don't even like use my phone, but it's always at least like 50%.
I was almost able to go see Blink 182 last night, though.
Why would you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
do that?
Oh, yay, them a day to remember and all time low. That show isn't trash.
That show's gonna be great for all the
Whoa,
13-year-old girls.
Whoa, whoa! You like Blink 182?
I like.
You are a punk pop
I
boy.
first off, it's pop punk.
Get it right.
Get it
Damn
right.
it.
There's an order.
Second, I like old Blink. And a day to remember and an all time low
They suck.
are pretty bad, so I wouldn't
They
want to
suck.
sit through them.
I
to
liked
see
like 2 songs by
maybe
A Day to
some
Remember.
some old Blink 182 maybe.
Green Day's got a new album out though.
It's
Fuck
probably
Green
trash. 'Cause
Day.
What the Uno Dos Tres? Those were all awful. And who's the new guy in Blink
Some
182?
fucking
It's not-
sellouts,
it's
man.
not
Yeah, I
Tom-
don't even know who it
It's
is.
not Tom DeLonge anymore, so it's probably bad.
I haven't followed Green Day at all because I mean they're kind of shit. They've been shit ever since that one album came out with
The
21
one with
Guns
21
on it.
Guns.
That one, that
Oh,
fucking was
God.
terrible.
I don't know what album
It was after American Idiot, right?
American Idiot was a good album.
I think it was
Yeah,
the
it
one
was
after
after
American
that.
Idiot. 'Cause
But
it
I
just
think
went
making
down.
American Idiot a stage show was a horrible idea.
Did you ever see it?
I've seen bits and pieces.
It was supposed to be good, and it won Tonys.
I hated it.
You didn't see it, so
From what I've seen, I hated it.
Didn't the Spider-Man
ju-
one
hey.
win Tonys too?
Oh, I don't
No, I don't think it
Could you
did.
not judge something on a product you haven't seen, Jordan?
Yeah, you haven't seen the finished product?
I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
bits and pieces. I will reiterate. Well, actually, not reiterate.
You're a
I will make-
hypocrite? Yeah.
Well, that. I will make the distinction that a theatrical production and a video game are two completely forms of entertainment that I am free to judge.
Gay
You're not free. You're not free to judge if you've never seen it. No.
America!
Who here has seen Death Note?
Ooh.
Side
Ooh.
topic. Who's seen Death
Everyone
Note?
here
Justin
except
has
Dad.
showed me a couple episodes, and I actually kind of like it.
It's fucking fantastic. But would you consider it a fantasy?
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
fantasy.
Thank you.
No.
He keeps saying
What do
it's
you
not a
mean?
fantasy.
It's classified as a thriller.
But
Which
it's
is-
not because it's got like magic,
That's what I
supernatural
said.
It
stuff
has
in
it
so
has
it's a
one
fantasy.
supernatural element that is not.
That is
But
like the
that
focal point of
makes
the
it-
show.
The book
The
is
name.
magic.
The
It's
demons
the
in the
name
book
of the
that
show.
kills
The
people.
supernatural element is the name of the show.
But the show-
that makes it fantasy.
The show isn't about the supernatural element. It's about the mind games played with
Hey,
this
how
supernatural
about
element
it's a
in
fantasy
play.
thriller?
Okay, so the only supernatural element in Godzilla is Godzilla. That still makes it a fantasy because there's not a real giant lizard that's crushing Tokyo.
No, it's just a war movie.
Godzilla was a horror film.
No, it's not a horror film.
Yes, it was. The first one?
You would classify it as a fantasy.
Okay, but then
because
after
it's
that,
not-
it became a giant monster fighter. It's a different classification.
Well, it might be.
It's a
science
different
fiction,
genre.
It could be science fiction too.
because there's science involved in it.
Right.
But Death Note, it's like a fan. You
But
could just call it a
sci-
fantasy
you
thriller because it's
cannot
both of
separate
them.
science fiction and fantasy. It's a very thin line between science fiction and fantasy.
Yeah, science fiction is basically like, what is it, 6 Feet Under or whatever? Not 6 Feet Under. The movie with the Mako sharks, where they make them all intelligent.
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue
Is it
Sea.
Deep Blue Sea? Yeah, where Samuel L.
Oh,
Jackson gets eaten in half.
It's the deepest blue.
Where like it's just normal sharks, but they, enhance
They
them.
hates their brains.
Yeah.
So, quick search of the Google says that the Godzilla franchise is genred under kaiju,
Yep.
tokusatsu, monster movies, and science fiction.
Science fiction.
Science fiction, not fantasy.
But I'm
And
telling you,
the
that's-
first one you saw was
they're-
kaiju, which
they're
means monster
cousins.
fighter.
But I'm telling you,
Science fiction and fantasy are cousins.
you can't
Yeah, a little bit
say.
inbred.
Okay,
Well,
what is Death Note listed
In
as?
my opinion, fantasy has its own kind of genre. Fantasy is its own
Right,
thing.
and Death Note fits right into.
No, it doesn't fit right into it. They're like different
It
classifications.
has a magic book, and magic is basically in fantasy movies.
No.
Of course.
Well, yes, there are magic things in fantasy movies, but not all.
I would say
fantasy
magic
movies.
is what makes a genre fantasy, is the magic.
Exactly.
Because like
But
I said,
it's set-
fiction is more.
But wait a minute, it's set in the real world. It has all realistic, gritty depictions of people
With demons and a magic
Yes,
book.
all of Neil Gaiman's books are called urban fantasy, and it's in real cities with real
Yeah.
people, and there's magic and demons thrown in, and that's what makes it fantasy. It makes it fantasy.
I
It's
feel
not
like
just
fa-
straight fiction.
I
It's
feel like
not.
fantasy is classified by its own world being built.
And what do you think the definition of fantasy is then?
Like stuff like Tolkien and like stuff like
So
When
it
they-
has to
when
be
they-
in its own world. In
when they
order to
build
be
a world and
fantasy?
stuff. Yeah, like when it's a
No,
true
but
fantasy.
It doesn't have to be.
So wait, is Overwatch not some side of fantasy? Because it's the real world.
No, it's science fiction.
They've been saying how they're like
What
super
about
close to each other.
Santa Claus and elves? That's fantasy, isn't it?
Religion, fantasy.
Religion, fantasy.
And that was his argument yesterday.
Santa Claus and elves.
No, okay. What
Santa
I
Claus and elves is fantasy. That's just a fat man with some magic elves in the real world.
I guess, but I don't know. I
Dramatic
feel like it's different. I feel like it has its own kind of thing. Cuz okay, here's what my point is. Yes, it might technically be fantasy, but the fantasy isn't the focal point of the story.
Of
What do you
course it is.
mean?
The whole point of the story is the Death Note.
No, it's not. It's about like the two dudes going at it in like mind games and real life kind of situations. Yes, there's this mythical aspect, but they ignore it a lot of the time. Like most of what Death Note is ignoring the Death Note.
Yeah, but aren't those two guys going at it because the one guy can use the Death Note and he doesn't want
Yeah,
to?
because he
So the whole point of the story is the Death
The
Note.
reason-
No, the Death
reason
Note
they're
is the
having
premise.
conflict is because of the Death Note.
yes, it's the premise, but it's not what the,
The reason
episode
those
to episode.
two people are antagonists is because of the Death Note.
What?
Uh-oh.
According to the Death
Google.
Note wiki,
Ah, shit. Here we
and
go.
this is the Wikipedia page specifically designated for all things Death Note, the series creator created it as a suspense series.
It was a suspense thriller.
It's a
Thriller
fantasy.
was not in there anyway. You are adding words.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
You really think it's not a thriller?
I mean, opinions.
It's a psychological thriller, dude.
You're adding words here.
Dude.
You're adding.
Yeah, because I'm trying to
He
describe a
didn't say
thing.
thriller, he said suspense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
I kind of feel like the suspense is in its own little category.
Yeah, suspense is different from psychological thriller.
It is. It is. It is.
It's like suspense is like Japan and psychological thriller is China. Two real different things right there.
Okay, can we not hit the table?
I'll do it.
Give it one out of spite. There we go.
Ah, we had a whole conversation about this last week.
I have not hit the table yet.
Oh,
the
you're
record.
not yet. You will.
Yeah, we haven't started yelling yet.
So
I
wait.
My hand.
I'm a disappointment because I was a little late on my
A little
upload.
late.
A little
like
late.
5 days late.
Look, just because the episode was put up the day before we were supposed to record the next one, doesn't mean.
Right. So now it's only 2 days after. We're only recording 2 days after it came out.
Hey,
Sorry.
You put us all off schedule.
yeah, totally my fault. 100%.
And I need to say that we got 10 times as many views as Jared said. He said 7.5.
We got 70.
We got 76.
Oh!
I don't even think we knew 76.
We
people.
even got the
We
0.5.
don't.
We even got one comment, and Becky thought it was Jared.
What did it say?
It said
Trump 2016.
Shit, I wish I put that.
Chaos campaign. I'm glad people agree with me.
Trump train.
Well, he's winning in the polls now.
One
poll.
poll.
He's
One
winning in the poll.
Yeah, the CNN poll.
So
But
I'm
he is
disappointed-
closing.
Oh, wait, it's a
he is-
CNN poll? Yeah, I can't be trusted.
It is just again, it's just one poll. But Jordan, I'm really getting to be more disappointed every time Hillary turns around. There's something that's pissing me
Every
off.
time she opens her mouth and spouts those stupid opinions
Yep.
of hers.
And coughs for 79 minutes.
That cough, we gotta get that checked out.
Yeah, she's got a wicked cough,
got
man. I wonder what that's.
bronchitis.
Oh yeah,
what's
she
that
might
about?
be sick. She's probably dying.
Well, I mean, don't you know that she's actually in a wheelchair? She never actually walked. It's all in a wheelchair.
Don't you know she's sick? She's got
She got
Parkinson's
dementia?
disease?
Parkinson's
She's
disease?
Yeah.
got dementia.
she's got dementia. Yeah,
Autism?
God. Okay. Why are you disappointed?
she's on the spectrum. That's
Hold on. Before we tangent to this, because this is gonna make me angry. So, two of your sons are disappointment, and you think one's a psychopath.
Oh, yeah, who's
Yes,
a
oh, what
psychopath?
is a psychopath? I have an article here.
oh boy. I have an article.
And it's printed outward.
It's printed out so I could remember it. I heard this.
Stone
I
Age.
heard this on another podcast I was listening to, so I went and looked up the article. So, according a study conducted by researchers from Innsbruck University in Austria has found that those of us who love to sip on a gin and tonic are far more likely to have psychopathic tendencies than those who enjoy something sweeter.
Justin, what are you drinking right now?
I am drinking a Tom Collins.
You're drinking a gin Collins. You are drinking a gin Collins.
It's a Tom Collins.
it's
a
delicious.
beefeater
It's
Collins,
beefeater.
if you will. It's a
It's
beefy
delicious.
Collins.
So, in the study, the subjects were asked to complete 4 separate personality questionnaires, which measured their levels of aggression, Machiavellianism, emotional stability, and tendency towards everyday sadism.
Okay.
It's pretty accurate.
I wouldn't say that's completely wrong.
This involved rating on a scale how much they agreed or disagreed with statements such as, when making fun of someone, it is especially amusing if they realize what I'm doing. And I enjoy tormenting people.
Damn it. They got me pinned.
So what they say is that this means that people who enjoy bitter foods and drinks such as coffee, gin and tonic, radishes. Nobody likes radishes.
Wait. Who here also enjoys coffee? I don't.
I do. Anyway, they are more likely to display tendencies of Machiavellianism, psychopathy, narcissism, and everyday sadism.
Okay, so I'm totally down with sadism. What's Machiavellianism?
Tupac.
What?
It's Machiavelli wrote a book called The Prince about
Machiavellian, as defined, Machiavellianism is the employment of cunning and duplicity in statecraft or in general conduct.
Tupac.
Oh, so what I do always.
Sure.
If you could see the look I'm giving him right now, general audience.
Cold,
So it
dead,
says the
gay
researchers
eyes.
weren't examining why psychopaths prefer bitter foods.
I'm just gonna keep sipping my
However,
drink.
the author did have an explanation. In the wild, poisonous foods tend to taste bitter, which is why so many of us are naturally averse to them. However, one of the primary traits of the psychopath is a sense of fearless bravado, a sort of arrogant confidence that comes into play when bold action is required.
Yeah, right.
Justin's a turtle.
I'm a complete coward.
Right? I was gonna say bold action. When do you ever do that?
Never.
Narcissism's there, though. I can see
Narcissism is
that.
there, but Justin's like,
Hold
something
up.
scary, let me get in my shell.
How am I a narcissist?
The fact that you like to argue with everybody.
Well, that doesn't make him a narcissist. It's
The fact that he thinks
however,
he's
though-
right
thinks
about a
he's
lot of
smarter
things.
than everybody.
I do not think I'm smarter than everyone. When I argue with someone, it's to get them to tell me what they think, because I don't understand people very well. I want to
That's
know what they
signs
have
of
to
a
say.
murderer.
What?
You don't understand people.
No, but I like people.
You're confusing like not having empathy with not understanding people. There's a difference. There.
I have empathy.
I was explaining to Pudge.
Oh. I thought you were saying to me. I'm like, dude.
No, you
I'm
have
hurt.
empathy.
So apparently, psychopathic tendencies aren't all bad. Oxford research psychologist Kevin Dutton has found that their bold temperaments make psychopaths more likely to be intelligent, assertive, and cool under pressure, which naturally makes them strong leaders.
That's not Justin.
They also tend to not take things personally, nor do they beat themselves up when things go wrong, choosing instead to focus on the positives.
I don't take things personally.
But you tend to not focus on the positives.
I'm a natural born
that's more
cynic.
Jeremy. Jeremy's more the pessimist.
Eh.
He takes after his Uncle Billy that way.
Oh, we got to get him on here. That's
yeah,
got to
all
happen.
the way in Georgia.
He'll come up eventually.
Life sucks, man.
And
How
we're all-
nihilistic of you.
That's not nihilistic.
Burn it all down.
Do you even know? Do you even know what nihilism is?
He's looking it up.
He's googling it right now.
Nihilism.
God
The
damn it.
rejection of all religious and moral principles.
Yeah, I
Often in
hate
the
that you
belief
have that
life-
laptop in front of you.
Often in the belief that life is meaningless.
That's different from life sucks.
Yeah, meaningless is different than
Yeah,
sucks.
life sucks. That's just Jeremy being like channeling his inner goth.
His emo.
burn down. Hot topic.
Do you have a poster of Edgar Allan Poe in your room?
I do not. It's mostly just like superhero posters
And Led Zeppelin.
and Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
I do not like to put posters on my wall. I like very blank. Well, I'm very minimalist. I like blank walls and such.
Psychopath, basically.
I want to live in a white room with a white bed.
I want to live in a
white
padded
table.
cell with a straight jacket. Feel nice and cozy.
I can run into the wall enough times where I won't get brain damage, but I'll pass out.
It'll be good. It'll be nice.
So what's our first topic for today?
Well, I think we just had a couple of them, but...
Yeah, it'd be like our ninth.
Well, I guess with the... this might bore the other boys, but with the... well, you guys can get in on it. NFL kicks off tomorrow.
Oh,
well, it
yay.
actually kicked off Thursday.
Well, that's right. The first game was Thursday, but our NFL kicks off tomorrow.
The important game for us.
Are any of us really excited about it, though?
I am.
Are we going to
sport
have
ball.
a good team this year?
No, but I
Yes.
still love football, and I still got to watch it.
Even though, fucking, let's talk about this. First thing, Kevin White injured. Again.
He's just got a little tweaked hamstring.
Okay, but
he's gonna be
what
fine.
is it about the Bears draft picks that are just awful? Besides, the only one that I'm wrong on
They're not
that I
trying
can
to
think
win.
of, the only one that I'm wrong on is Kyle Long, because I thought that was a terrible fucking pick,
So
and
did
he
I.
turned out to be fucking fantastic.
did.
Because what, he played 9 games in college, and that was it?
Yeah, not
Hey,
many.
we're not going for the win this year. We're going to build a team that'll win
We're trying
next
to
year.
restructure.
But then we're going to really have that same goal next year.
They're not trying to win. They're not.
Of course
Well,
they
see,
are.
that's one of my problems with a lot of the Chicago teams, like the Bulls and the Bears, is that it always seems like they're in a rebuilding stage, you know? They're never actually just going for the win. It's always like, oh, we're rebuilding, we're going young. Because right now, the Bears are like one of the youngest teams in the NFL in terms of their players' age.
Yeah, and they got to make up for the last 3 shitty years from Phil Emery. Phil Emery, right?
Yeah.
Do we still have Jay Cutler?
Yes.
Yes, we still have. Jay
Unfortunately.
Why? Isn't he like the reason we're
No.
we're bad?
No.
No, he had
He
one of
actually
his
had
best years
last
last
year was a good year for him. He just had nobody to throw to.
He's decent. He's
And
got
now
no
this year,
support.
he's
Now
going to have
not gonna
nobody to
anybody
throw to.
I don't
because
understand how
Jeffrey's
we can have a
probably going to get hurt. White can't even get on the field. I mean, maybe he'll play.
He says he's not listed as out for tomorrow.
He's not listed as out, but a hamstring injury for a guy who needs to run the entire game is not good.
I know.
I don't understand. Like, Jay Cutler's supposed to be, like, a decently good quarterback, right? And
Right.
yet, why can't we get anyone to help him out? I don't understand.
You know, he
this.
also gets really bad media attention.
He does.
You
well,
know,
because
he's never in like the top 100 players, and they put shittier quarterbacks than him in those lists. They put like Tony Romo
I
in
know,
there.
but people look at him and he just looks like a dick.
Well, he's got a negative vibe.
He's
That's
got
all it
negative-
is.
And
He's
plus,
not about those positive vibes.
He is honestly, he's a really good quarterback. He's got a strong arm. He does well, but he has those moments where he just blows up and does something really stupid, and that's what people think of. And then he's got that shitty look on his face.
Yeah.
People do not like the way that he looks.
Which is stupid considering that he's playing in Chicago. I would say the city of shitty looks. You know,
We are all about giving the stink eye. It's
You
an
give the
art.
stink eye,
It's an art
exactly.
here.
Hey, how's it going, fuckhead?
Hey, fuck ass. Get moving.
Did you hear that? Someone at work told me that I guess the whole Seattle team is going to take a knee for the national anthem tomorrow.
Really?
Good.
That's what they
That's,
said.
that's
Yep.
cute.
weird. My favorite player, Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
He probably was one of the guys who orchestrated that.
I know Brandon Marshall did it, and he lost his sponsorship.
He lost his sponsorship.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall from the Broncos, not from the
Oh,
Jets.
the tight end?
linebacker, not the
Oh, the linebacker.
not the
Oh.
wide receiver. He had some local. What was it?
It was like a veterans group, or it was some kind of military group.
Yeah, it was some kind of military group. That
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Well, did you hear about the, what was it? Is it Santa Monica? The police officers who might not show up to the first 49ers game
Oh, I
because of
saw
Colin
that.
Kaepernick.
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, that's what
And
it
that's,
is.
well, that's what the cops in Seattle said too. Oh, we're going to take a knee too, but it's going to be at the precinct, so we won't be at the game.
Yeah. Which is, first of all, if you disagree with the players, you're not there for the players' safety, are you?
No,
They,
you're there
they
for
all
the crowd
volunteer for the
safety.
crowd
Yeah.
safety because the people get drunk and try to beat each other. So to protest the players not standing up, you're going to not protect the people in the stands?
Exactly.
That seems very unpatriotic to me.
Because then all the team is going to do is, pay for private security for their people and their players because they got to protect their investment. So
Oh,
they don't.
yeah.
They'll spend the money for that, but then all you got are people in the stands who have no protection. So
Right,
who
where are
are
the
they
people
hurting but the regular people?
the people that they're
It's
supposed
just
to be
dumb.
protecting and
Well-
serving, they just say, fuck you, we don't like our sports guys.
Those people are expendable, is the thing. The people in the stands, no one gives a shit. No one.
Yeah,
But that's the
there's,
other
like,
thing.
what,
In San Francisco,
thousands?
there's got to be. I mean, you're going to have some people. You're going to have some cops there because in San Francisco, you're going to have some important figures probably at the game. You know what I mean? It's near Hollywood.
No, it's not.
It's
San
in
Francisco
California.
is in northern
it's in
California.
California.
But it's in
away
California.
From, it's hours away from LA.
But there's a lot of. I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of famous
there's
people
a lot
attend
of-
the games.
There's a lot of tech guys with a lot of money.
Yeah,
because
because their stadium actually is like one of the most high-tech stadiums in the country right now. It's got fucking cool ass shit. Like
Is it
it's
one
got,
of those ones
it's got
with
an
the
app.
pool?
No, it's got like an app, and the whole stadium is like has its own Bluetooth, right? So you can hook up to it through an app, and this app will like allow you to like place an order for the concession stands in your seat, and it'll tell you when your food is up, and it will tell you which food it'll tell you which lines are the shortest to go to, like which concessions in the building or in the stadium are the shortest to go to.
That's pretty dope.
It's honestly, it's like
they need that for the
super
bathroom.
high
Is
tech.
what they need that for.
Yeah. Well, don't they just have a trough, man, like Wrigley?
No, they don't. I don't think San Francisco has a trough like Wrigley. No, there's a few places that do, but I don't think San Francisco does.
Just gross, man. I want a bathroom stall. I don't want a trough.
And every once in a while, you see the picture on the internet with some guy passed out in the trough.
Did you see that one video of the dude that dove through the trough?
Yes. Oh, that's
Wait,
gross.
what?
They
God.
couldn't have been real, right?
He had to have made some money off that.
Oh, he definitely made some money off that.
Oh,
Someone paid him.
it's not worth
No,
it.
because you know who'd do it? Giovanni would do it.
Yes, Giovanni would do
Couple
it.
Those
$100
guys
bucks.
exist.
How much
I
are you
might think
paying
about
me?
it.
Giovanni, $100.
Dive through
in
the trough.
piss.
You wouldn't even
Okay.
have to do that. You just give him a 12-pack of beer, and you'd be like, okay, I'll do it.
I got
Oh,
bills to pay,
he'd
man. I'd
need
do
a
it for some
24.
money.
You'd need 24 pack at least.
I don't
not just
know,
a
like-
12.
Okay, so that's like what, $20?
Not what?
What are you, not the way,
Hams,
not the
man.
way that they
$11.
drink.
If you give me
I
Busch
got
Light.
48 for $20 at Costco, the light beer.
Hey, the Kirkland's light beer, man.
Light
You can't beat
beer.
that deal. Bud.
if you give me $100, I'll dive in a trough of piss.
Really?
It's $100.
Do we have a camera?
We
We're
can get
gonna
one.
find a trough of piss and we're gonna make him dive in
If you
it.
give me $100,
You
I'll
gotta,
do it.
you
100
gotta
bucks?
wear.
Yeah.
He's gotta wear the bow tie
man.
though.
Maybe you should
You
just
gotta wear the bow ties.
maybe you
for
should just take
work.
us all to Wrigley Field and we can do it there.
You can't get in now.
Come on, man.
You know how much tickets are?
Hop the
What
fence.
are you,
probably
what are you being
can't even
cheap
get
for? What's the
tickets.
point of this podcast if you're not going to pay for us to go to
Well,
Wrigley
because we're not
Field?
monetized yet. We start making some money, we can maybe write it off and get some tickets.
Write it off.
Shout out, we need a sponsor.
Trough dive for the views, man.
Or you just break in. Simple.
I'm not gonna support breaking the law.
Come on, even your Pokemon Go tells you not to trespass.
Yeah, kid.
I'm so upset I haven't been able to play Pokemon Go.
I heard there's a new update where you get like a Pokemon to hang out with you.
Yeah.
But it's
What?
only for iPhone. They don't have it for Android
No,
yet.
Yes,
no,
I
no.
told
They're
you,
rolling it out.
fuckers.
I'm checking for it
iPhones
right now.
rule.
Your new iPhone doesn't even have a fucking aux.
Okay, stop.
Don't need it.
Pokemon
I got
Go.
Bluetooth headphones, and I don't have the new iPhone.
They're rolling
it's
out
not
for
my
both.
new iPhone.
Oh, but when you upgrade,
It's
you're
gonna
not
be
gonna have
both Android
Bluetooth.
and
You're not gonna
iOS?
have.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be
I
for both,
have
but right
stuff.
now it's only for iPhone.
They haven't rolled it out for me yet. I don't have it yet on mine. It hasn't gone through on mine.
Oh.
But the way it'll work, like you'll have like a Pokemon buddy walking around with you, and it'll give you candy for that specific Pokemon as
Like
they're walking
Pikachu.
around.
What?
So
I'm
you have,
checking
like-
right now.
You have like Pikachu
It's
on
not
your
out for
shoulder?
Android. Oh, you have iPhone. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm better than you.
iPhone is a inferior product. Just gotta make that.
What about those new
factual
shitty
statement.
earbuds they made?
Ooh,
It's the same earbuds, just no cord.
Yeah.
They've always been shitty.
Hey, I told you. I was just telling Justin. I saw a headline that said they're not just earbuds; they're computers for your ears.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, like one of those things falls out in a bad spot, man, you're never finding that shit.
Nah, of course you're not.
I hate the
And they're
Apple
gonna fall out,
headphones anyway.
especially
They
if you
feel
want
weird
to
in my
try
ear.
and run with them.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
guys who are exercising.
Good
or
luck
running
going
with
for a jog.
That's the point of the cords, I felt like, you know? So
them.
if it fell out, you could just find it because it gets wrapped around your leg or hits you in the dick or something.
Just a.
I haven't wore earbuds in like fucking
No, I
5,
always,
6 years, man. I hate that shit.
Always
in my ears.
over your headphones. I cannot do the earbuds.
Every
They
day
ruin
in
me.
school, headphones. I don't want to deal with people in the hall. Don't want to deal with hearing people during study hall. Nothing.
Wait, but not the earbuds, right? You wear actual like.
No earbuds.
Oh, you do. I hate
Because
them.
then you can
Can't
still
do
work.
it.
Because then you can
They-
wear them in class.
They
and
like
teachers
hurt
don't
the
know.
inside of my ear.
Yeah, but
man.
you can't wear those over the ear ones when you're working. Oh, never mind. You never work out, so.
Oh, but I do.
Yeah, running.
No, I've seen. No, there's guys at the
I
gym
see
who
guys at the gym
definitely
who do
wear.
it, yeah.
Hell
I used to.
Those are guys who look in the mirror and scream and just flex and don't.
Take selfies
Yeah,
while
They
they're
don't
in the
actually
gym.
work out. They just kind of like want to make
It's
themselves
like kind of
feel
walk
good.
around and look like they're working out.
I brought these to the gym before, and actually, they worked swimmingly.
Swimmingly. Were you swimming in them?
Yes.
I don't think you worked out well enough then if it worked swimmingly.
Yeah, I went for a little dive in the pool. Second selfie of the podcast.
Another selfie?
Yeah. It has
He's
to
got-
happen a lot.
He's
Why?
got a quota.
Why does it have to happen?
He's gotta do
Because
at least
Snapchat.
Olivia's got to know what you're doing, right?
No, because Snapchat. It just happens.
Snapchat
Why don't you post
demands.
those pictures on our Facebook page, man?
Maybe I will.
Live podcast show.
No,
That's
we're
right.
not doing face reveals yet. Stop it.
I'm okay with
Why?
it.
It's because the 70 people can't know who we are,
Exactly.
I already said our last name, so now we're out there.
Oh, I'm cutting that. Why?
and now we have to cut this.
Just cut the whole thing. We're done.
We're done. Start over. It's over.
End.
You are recording, right?
Yes, it's recording.
Thank God.
Do you want to see the readout? I have it right here.
I'm good.
What?
The transitioning is so hard.
Why are you even pointing that out?
All right, so what were we talking about? We were talking about NFL. We were talking about Hillary. You want to talk about Hillary? You want to keep talking about
No
Colin
Hillary.
Kaepernick? Or
Well, what is there to really say about Colin Kaepernick, man? Like, he's doing a protest. We all agree with it. We think it's fine. Other people are kind of butthurt about it. There's nothing more to say.
He's hot.
All right.
Jordan thinks he's hot.
Jordan thinks he's hot.
I mean,
He's straight though, Jordan.
Eye candy, man. Eye candy.
window shopping's free.
Window shopping is free.
Yes, it is. You right?
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up. I'm considering becoming part of the Vape Nation.
Oh,
Oh my God, no! Are you really?
Yeah, because I already have a hookah, and like a vape is basically just like a portable hookah. It's just flavored smoke, right? So
Yeah.
like I
So
might
are
as well.
So you're gonna quit smoking then?
I could try.
You're gonna quit cigarettes altogether?
I could try. Why
Well,
not?
you should if you're gonna, because vaping you're gonna get even more nicotine vaping.
Is there nicotine in vape? I thought
Yes,
it was.
that's
yeah.
the whole
Oh, yeah.
point.
I bought a vape a couple years ago to try and stop. I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you get the high doses of nicotine in those vapes, they really fucking taste like shit. You know, none of the flavors will like mask the shit.
Well,
But and the other thing, if you get like a low percentage of the nicotine in there,
You're just puffing on it.
you just puff on it all day, and you still want a cigarette.
the
You know
thing
what I mean?
is,
Like I was smoking cigarettes and my vape at the same time sometimes. You know.
I don't smoke for the nicotine. I smoke because it feels good when I'm like smoking it. So like it's got like the good like a throat feel.
That's still a nicotine thing, though.
Is it?
I think that's a rationalization saying you smoke because it feels good. That's just rationalization of your addiction.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends. It could be like an oral fixation type of deal.
Yeah, just try putting other
But-
stuff in your mouth.
I never felt like I was like an orally fixated person until I started smoking cigarettes. So, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I just like the activity.
I know a couple people that do vape, and they're like chain vapors, and I feel like you'll probably find something that you like, but then you'll like chain vape it. Like, we had them over one day, like for like brunch or for lunch, and the woman literally
Brunch has to be brunch.
fucking love brunch.
Gay people love
Gay
brunch.
people
I don't know
love
what it
brunch.
is.
Because they can
love
have
it.
quiche.
Any excuse to say quiche.
I make great quiche to begin with,
Of course
you
you
do.
do.
but anyway,
You're
like
a dainty lady.
I am a wonderful housewife, thank you. But like the woman, she did not take the vape out of her mouth, like ever. Like she was constantly just like puffing and vaping, like the 3 hours
That's
they were
exactly what I was saying. It's not like you're not gonna not want to smoke a cigarette.
So
While
what,
you're
that's not-
vaping, you're gonna want to
That's
smoke
not
the
why
cigarette.
I want to vape. I don't want to quit smoking.
what is your reason for vaping? Is what I'm.
Just to be a dick.
No, it
honestly,
Just to be a dick?
just to be a
Just to
dick
look like a
and
douchebag?
blow clouds in people's face in public
Is
to
that-
look cool.
Is that what
That's
it's
what
for?
it is.
Is that what
What
you
he's
want to
gonna
It's
do?
do-
it's a quicker and easier hookah because I don't want to have to get the hookah out every time I
What
want
he's
some
gonna do is
flavored
he's gonna
smoke.
have
Yeah,
his
I mean,
vape,
it's true, you
wear a
gotta light up the
polo,
coals,
pop his
fill it
coke,
with
It takes a
water.
fucking while, man.
Does it really take that long?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't take that long.
It doesn't
it's really
take that
not
long,
that
but
bad.
it's a fucking.
But
But then
Well,
once you got the coals, like
when
you
you're
gotta wait there
lazy,
for an
it's a
hour and a half.
process.
Well, that's the thing. Like that, the thing though, like a hookah is kind of supposed to be like a ritualistic thing. Like it's supposed to be something.
It's
you
an
do,
event,
and
for
you
sure.
set up and you relax. Like the vape kind of
Well,
takes that away.
Yeah, but
But I
nobody
don't
wants
wa-
to smoke with him,
I
so
don't-
he's got no motive.
And you know,
This.
if you had your own apartment, you could put your hookah someplace and leave it out all the time.
Oh my
and then
god,
you
I
just-
totally would.
See, if you had your own apartment.
Well,
Move out of your mother's basement.
Summer
Hey.
2017.
Summer 2017. We're moving out. It's happening.
Oh, you are, huh?
Maybe.
Daniel thinks you'd
You
really
can't
like
even
living
get
in
your
a
own
city.
car insurance.
Listen, I'm going through a rough patch right now.
Your whole
Aren't
like
we all going through a rough
My
patch
life
right
is a
now?
rough patch, okay? And I blame you.
But yeah, you might be different than me, but I tried the vape. I didn't go for like the big boxes though. I didn't try for like a nice one because the nice ones are
I've had the tiny
expensive.
cigarette
Did you
ones,
just have
they
a little-
suck
Did you
dick.
just have a little vape pen thing?
I had the one that's got like it's like a big like circular battery, and it's got the little chamber, and you have to recharge the battery every once in a while.
Yeah.
And you know you put the juice in it, and the juice isn't really all that expensive. It's like $40 to start going, but I hear that you need to buy one of like the really one of those fat boxes.
Yeah, you probably want
to
Yeah.
really
a box.
enjoy it.
Well-
Yeah, a couple guys I work with have the big fat boxes with the rechargeable
I mean,
batteries, and he's
Ben-
always pouring stuff in it. And
Ben has one. A buddy I worked with at work had one, and like it's always like it always tastes good, and it's kind of like smoking. I would just it just reminds me of hookah, and I enjoy hookah.
I know, but one of my things. Well, okay, I guess if you have a different smoking outlook than I do, but whenever we would go to like a hookah bar, which is the biggest waste of money anybody could ever
I
spend.
like the hookah bar.
They fucking. The only cool thing about a hookah bar is you're able to smoke inside, right? My
Yeah.
cigarettes, right? I'm able to smoke cigarettes inside of it.
well, you can do that in Indiana too, right?
Yeah, you could do it in
Oh,
Georgia.
it
We
was
went to a
awesome.
bar in
Yeah.
Georgia where you could smoke
and you can do it in
inside.
Vegas too.
It's
Just
fucking
not
awesome.
Illinois.
That's the only good thing about it because realistically, you're just spending money to sit there and, for me, smoke a fucking hookah. But I'd rather smoke my cigarettes because, I mean, you could inhale the hookah, but it kind of hurts. It's kind of like a tickle in your
doesn't.
throat.
It's kind of like inhaling a cigar.
Yeah.
I
It's-
inhale the hookah.
it's a
It
lot
doesn't
of
hurt.
You
smoke.
inhale the hookah?
I inhale the hookah. It doesn't hurt.
I don't do it.
If you ice the hookah, it takes a lot of the harshness out of it.
Yeah, you use an ice hose.
They're super harsh and the flavors are not great. I don't know.
I like the flavors because you can like mix and match a lot of them. There's a hookah place I go to that's nearby.
Is it hookah time?
No, it's not actually.
Oh, where do you go? You don't go to hookah time?
I'm not dropping names, boy. Anyway, I go to this place and like it's got like a lot of different flavors. Like there's one that has like 4 different like citrus flavors mixed together. There's one called Purple Haze. It's just great
Yes,
flavored.
Purple
and
Haze
it's
was pretty
delicious.
good.
Love it. I
But-
love hookah. So like any chance to get like an easier hookah, because I don't want to have an event every time I want to have a little bit of hookah. You know what I'm saying? Like getting out the hookah, lighting the coals, and sitting there for an hour and a half is a fucking event. right?
That's the other thing too. You have to kind of smoke the whole bowl. I mean, you don't have to pack it fully, but you got to smoke the whole bowl, or else, the coals are
That's
gonna.
a waste.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste.
So that's why, like, a vape might
Yeah,
not
but
be a bad
vaping,
idea.
it can get kind of expensive because those big
That's
ass
the
ones
thing.
cost money, and then
That's why I'm
the
probably
juice
not going
costs
to do
money.
it.
If you get the higher nicotine ones, they cost way more money.
And that's the only thing that's really stopping me. Although before I get a vape, I think I'll get a pipe, cause
Just
Like,
save
a
your
pipe?
lungs.
a pipe,
Like with tobacco, and
yeah,
why would you want to do that?
old Gandalf style.
Yeah,
pipe.
only if it's like down to your knees, like Gandalf.
That sounds cool as shit.
Like you got
Okay, it's a hobby that I enjoy, so I'm down with
Like you gotta,
doing it.
if it's a pipe, you gotta be able to puff on that thing if you're holding it in
Yeah.
an outstretched hand.
Oh yeah, I gotta be able to hold it out like all the way and still be able to puff on it.
You do realize nobody knows what all the way is on an audio recording.
Yeah, all the way. A fully extended arm.
There you go, fully extended arm.
Clarification.
Why wouldn't you do video then?
So
yeah,
why-
you go buy a camera.
So vaping, but it's not like real smoke, so it's not really like hookah.
From what I've had, it felt the same.
Yeah.
I've tried other people's vapes.
So it's not like you don't want an e-cigarette. You
No.
want a vape.
Yeah.
You didn't want to. It's not trying to get you off of smoking.
No. If I want to get off smoking, I just stop.
Well, why don't you just stop then if it's that
Because
easy?
I don't want to get off yet.
Oh.
I can stop anytime I want. Puts the needle in his arm.
Look, I've stopped before, and then I started up again. Because I wanted to.
I have too.
It is just like, I want to, I don't want to, and then I go from there.
It's
What's
just
that?
like an addiction.
It's not,
Sometimes you fall off the wagon, you get back on. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
The horse kicks you off, you slap that horse in the face and get back on.
well, it's not like I'm going to get any addiction treatment, right?
Yeah. What did you find?
Oh. So there's an article about there's a neuroscientist who believes that addiction is bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, he says it's not. By calling it a disease, it takes away this. People are just saying it to be politically correct because they don't want to stigmatize people.
Yeah.
But like the research that's been done is saying that it's more of a mental thing. It's not really a physical thing, and that
I
a lot of it has to do with how you're connected with the people around you. Because they're talking about they legalized everything in Portugal. Like 15 years ago, they legalized everything from pot to crack to heroin. Everything is legal there. And in the 15 years, the rate of injectables is down like 50%. Overdoses are down. Everything's just down across the board. And what they also went and they did more than just throwing people in jail or throwing them into rehab. They were doing like jobs for people who had addictions and stuff. And so like they go and sell to like a mechanic and say, here, if you hire this guy for a year, we'll pay like half his salary, and did stuff like that. It turns out when you get addicts involved in their communities and with people who love them, they tend not to use drugs because they're in a better mental health state.
Shocking how that works. I always thought the dumbest thing that our country does is like, if you smoke pot and like people think you have a problem, you have an addiction, we'll fire you from your job so that way you're in a worse situation.
Exactly. Fire you from your job, throw you in rehab, take you away from the people who care about you.
And put you on a crutch.
And it's like the rat study. There's a guy who built the rat park. Do you ever read about that study?
Yeah.
So there's some guys did a study where they took a rat and they put him in a cage, and they gave him a bottle of water, just regular water, and then a bottle of water that was either cocaine or heroin or whatever. And it turns out that every time they did the experiment, the rat would drink all the heroin water, drink it all the time, and wind up killing himself. It happened 100% of the time. And then this guy, do you have his name handy? I forget his name.
The guy, the Rat Pack study guy?
The guy with the rat park.
Okay.
He looked at it and he said, well, that doesn't make sense. That's kind of a stupid study. So he built this rat park. And he brought in toys and food and brought in other rats so the rats could have sex. And they lived like in a big community. And they put the same two bottles in there, the clean water and the heroin water. And it turns out when they had all this interaction with other people and other things, or with other rats and other things, they didn't hardly ever go for the heroin water. They just went for the regular water.
Well, yeah, because the rat by itself was probably just going for like, I just
Exactly.
want to die.
Right. So what they're saying is that the more isolated you are, the more you're prone for addiction. And what do we do with people who are addicted? We
Isolate
throw
them.
We isolate them. Their friends leave them. We put them in rehab, or we throw them in jail, and then they're screwed. And it just builds and builds
It
and
puts
builds.
them in that bad psychological state where they use the drug as a crutch for their life because they're just upset. It's so stupid how we treat people with drug problems.
Yeah, but then they find Jesus and they're fine.
Well, because they're supplementing for the connections that they don't
Of course
actually
they
have.
are.
That's what's really sad about it for me. Like, yeah, they imagine this connection with this deity because they can't get real connections with people.
Yeah, I would rather talk to a drug addict than talk to a born again.
Yeah, the drug addict has some stories, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's done some
the
shit.
born again has some stories too, but they're like made up stories from a book.
Oh no, I've heard some stories from some born agains who used to be drug addicts. Oh, you man.
Well, that's not fair. That's both in one package.
That's
You
what
get
a born
both
again
sides.
is.
But if you put like Mother Teresa in front of me and then Scott Weiland, you bet your ass I'm talking to Scott Weiland.
You got that right. Who wouldn't hang out with Scott Weiland over
That's
Mother
what I'm
Teresa?
saying.
Who's Scott Weiland?
Oh, boy.
Lead singer for Stone Temple Pilots.
Gotcha.
Velvet Revolver.
I know the band, not him. Sorry.
Yeah, honestly, I'm still not even sure.
Because you're a child.
You don't know who STP is?
I mean, I know them, but
Yeah,
like,
there
I
you
don't know them.
You mean standard temperature and pressure?
Yeah. If you ever saw Scott Weiland, well, he's dead now, but if you ever saw him,
R.I.P.
look at him and say, he's a drug addict. Say, that guy does a lot of heroin.
Jordan, I hate you.
Although, surprisingly, I think he died of cocaine, not heroin, is what I read.
Yeah?
I think
I'm
it was
sure he
cocaine.
did everything.
Well, yeah, but I just was surprised.
Cocaine was the thing that ended it.
Well, that's the only
Did you
thing
read the
can
letter
get
that his wife wrote out?
No.
No, what?
His wife, well, I want to say ex-wife, you know, because...
His widow?
Yes. Well, you know, she basically wrote a letter to all of his fans, all of Scott Weiland's fans, basically saying, you know, you really shouldn't, you know, put him on a pedestal and glorify the things he did. And she basically just went out and trashed him in the whole letter, saying, well, because, you know, because of his addiction, he was a terrible father, he was a terrible husband, he did all these bad things that he wished, you know, he could have been better at. You know, he wished he could have been there more often. But yeah, she totally wrote this letter saying, don't put him on a pedestal, don't glorify him. You know, he fought this addiction and he lost to it, you know.
Maybe just don't glorify people in general. Don't put people on pedestals. People are
Yeah.
people. They are going to mess up. They have messed up.
Yeah, but everybody loves a role model. Everybody likes to look up to somebody.
Seriously.
You can look up to someone and still acknowledge their flaws.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so what?
You
So
can,
she's
but some
correct.
people can't.
But what if that person has no flaws?
Who has no flaws?
Christopher Hitchens. I can't find one. I mean, he's even persuading... I've been listening to more and more of his interviews and stuff recently, and he's even persuading me that, you know, maybe the Iraq War wasn't so bad,
See,
you know?
that's where...
I'm
That's
just
where we have to
saying,
draw the line. 'cause
He's
no,
such an
that's-
intelligent human
I
being.
like him too. He's really smart, but he's wrong about
But when
war.
he talks about it, he makes a compelling
He makes
case.
it
I
so
know, but
like
you-
you just have to think
it's-
about it.
but
He's
I
so
know.
intelligent.
Think about it, but he's not right. The
Well,
Iraq War
yes, there
was
are-
not.
Yes, there are certain things that are not good about war, like you
Bow tie
know,
came off.
just because you know somebody bombs America, it doesn't mean we go to war with a whole country. But at the same time, you know, he believes that these people in our society we cannot, you know, live together. You know,
Right, but
so it's inevitable that one of us is going to take out the other, and he says, why not it be us before they decide to take us out?
I don't think it's inevitable. Like, I don't think we're at the point where we can say that we can't coexist, so
I-
we have to take out a threat
I
before it
do
gets
think
us.
we are at the point where we can say there is definitely a culture clash between our culture and
Absolutely.
their culture.
Yes, I will say that there is definitely a culture clash.
So wait,
but
did
we
he- go ahead.
No.
Did he say that we should go and kill 1 billion people?
What he said was that when a lot of the liberals were saying that we should leave Iraq, After, it was basically said that we messed up by going there in the first place.
Well, which we did.
Well, he said that we have to take some responsibility for our actions by in like the 90s when George Bush was it Saddam Hussein that he put into power there?
No, not in the 90s. The early 90s is when we went to help Saddam Hussein went into Kuwait, and we went and we fought Iraq there.
Right.
But Hussein was already in power. It was during the Iran-Iraq war, which was back in the 70s and 80s, that...
Well, when did we
Yeah, that could be.
when did we put Bin Laden in power? When did we give Bin Laden access to weapons?
We gave Bin Laden weapons when the Russians were fighting in Afghanistan,
Okay.
which was why we boycotted the '80 Olympics, the Summer Olympics.
So he was saying
Wait,
we have to
what?
basically take some, responsibility
Jimmy
for
Carter,
that,
though,
and we
yeah.
can't just back out and leave. Also, not to mention that these people, they do not, like us. It's not the whole country. That's why I'm still fighting what he's saying, but at the same time, he makes a decent argument that...
Well, I mean, wouldn't you
Hold
say
on,
we've?
I need to say disclaimer. Remember, just about everything we say here is wrong. So you don't
we
even
say
need to correct
here-
us. Everything we say is wrong. So don't even.
Everything we say is off the cuff and opinionated. It is not fact. We are not speaking anything out of super. We'll put links to anything that we think is factual, and you can check that.
No, nothing is factual. I'm wrong about everything. When I say that we boycotted the Olympics in the 80s, I don't know. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure that we boycotted the Olympics in 1980 because of the war in Afghanistan with the Russians.
Yeah, and everything that I'm saying is nowhere near as articulate as Christopher Hitchens would put it. He would have a much better example. I'm just trying to reiterate what he was saying.
Wouldn't you say that like the 15-year war we've been fighting in Afghanistan is us kind of trying to make up for the fact that we empowered Bin Laden to begin with to start his crusade against us, and the fact that we've been in there, we got him, but we're still in Afghanistan trying to stop Al Qaeda? Wouldn't you say that is us owning up to those circumstances?
We own him.
Us taking him out?
Well, I mean that and the continued war effort in Afghanistan.
So you think that us still being there is us owning up to fucking things up in the first place?
I mean, along that strain of logic, it could be. Because we're owning up the fact that, hey, we empowered these people and they hurt us, so we went back and now we're trying to restabilize what we essentially began destabilizing.
The problem is that we have to deal with the situation now. We can't fix what has happened, but we have the situation that's at our doorstep, right? So how do we solve it?
What situation is at our doorstep?
The whole problem with radical Islam and ISIS and shit?
I wouldn't characterize it as at our doorstep.
What do you mean?
What do you mean it's not at our door? You mean it's just not in this country?
That I'm saying the phrasing "at our doorstep" is kind of taking
It is a prevalent force in the world right now, is it not?
I would know if I would consider it a prevalent force. It is the dominant global news story that we are focused on, but I wouldn't say that like ISIS and radical Islam is a prevalent force in the global populace.
Who was responsible for the attacking in France?
The Paris bombing.
Yeah, or the one that happened on Bastille Day, where they killed over, 200 people?
Yeah, he was a guy. He was by himself, but he claimed that he was doing it for ISIS.
Well, when you do something as horrific as that, I mean, that's pretty much, I would say, at our doorstep.
That is.
See, Europe is way different than us. That's
yes,
why
but
we're. I mean,
but we're
'cause they have
allies with them.
Yeah, but they have such open borders and stuff like that.
Yes, but
It's
they
not-
share
it's
the
not like
Western
us.
culture. They share a
Right,
similar
now-
culture to
A
us.
culture
But
that-
also, but the problem is, the reason they have more trouble than we do is because they isolate the Muslims. They let them into the country, but then they isolate them. We, as Americans, we assimilate them. They get into our communities. They become Americans, and they like being Americans. When they go over to those other countries, they are just migrant workers, and they are shoved into ghettos and isolated, and the hate and it just starts to fester.
Are they isolated?
Well, you
I've
can-
not
Yes,
heard that
no,
one.
can
that's
argue
why
that-
Europe is such
You can
a
also
problem.
argue that they're
Yep.
Americans as long as they, do what we do. They're not really open to, at least not now. They're not really open to practice their culture around here in America.
Sure they are.
Of course they are.
Yes, they are, but it doesn't really
Parts.
get good feedback from the American people. There's a lot of people who would not agree with some of the things, like
Sharia law.
Sharia law.
There is no Sharia law in the United States, so we don't have to.
Well,
Not in
right.
the United States.
But most of the Muslims in the United States don't want to follow Sharia law. They want to come here, they want to go to their mosque, but they still want to drink. And they still want to eat food, and they still want to party. And they still want to dance, and they still want to listen to music. That's why they're here.
Yes, but okay, like you were saying with Europe, but like Europe had all those refugees come in. There were people that had to leave their countries and they had to come to these other cultures, but they didn't want to assimilate the different culture. They didn't want to be put there.
Right, but
they just had
totally,
to be.
Yeah, that is a totally
separate
different
issue.
situation.
Over the past 20 years, we're talking about Europe letting people in and then just isolating them.
Well,
Simple as that.
That's what I was mentioning with the culture clash, is that these people don't want to assimilate because they were
They
forced to
would
go
have.
there.
No. Those are the refugees. That's a totally different story. People who just went to Europe to work, to find work and live in a different country, they found that they weren't as welcome as most Muslims
Right.
are here.
That's what I'm saying. It's no different here. We have communities that are based off of your race or ethnic background. Most people tend to
We have
live
Chinatown.
in
Yeah, well,
areas
that's-
where you are
Right, but not
most
shoved
welcome.
in the slums.
No,
and ghettos.
but what you're
Well,
what,
look at what's happening to the black people. What do you
no,
mean?
what,
not
what,
shoved
what,
in the slums.
what
and
about
you
the
are
Muslims?
describing specifically is a big problem in Chicago. Chicago itself has a huge problem with segregated communities, but as a whole, in the United States, we do a very good job of assimilating and not segregating our cultures. Like, yes, there are ghettos and there are slums, and Chicago is particularly bad at having, like, the Chinatown, the Little Poland, Little Italy. Chicago is very bad at segregation. Like, that is freely admitted. But on the whole, America does a really good job of assimilating people from other cultures.
I kind of like it. I kind of like going to Chicago and going to Chinatown. The fact that we can see another culture almost in its
No,
own
but that
environment.
causes a lot of problems in the
No.
city.
There's a Chinatown in every city.
Yes.
You
I
go
ca-
to San
I kinda like
Francisco,
that.
you go to Los Angeles.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what they just build their own communities like that
It's
on
ki-
purpose.
I-
On purpose.
It's
they
kind
do
of
that.
neat. Like you can see their culture and stuff like that. You know
But
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
Chicago's. But they got the neighborhoods are fine. Chinatown is nice. Little Italy. There are a bunch of Italians used to move in there.
It's
uh,
pleasant.
The north side with all the Jewish people up there, and they just live in their neighborhoods. That's all.
I live on the north side. I live with all the Jews. They're awesome.
You're basically a Jew at this point.
I am dating a Jew.
Does that
that-
make you an honorary Jew? Is that how that
I
works?
guess one of Hitchin's arguments was something about
Here we go.
northern Iraq and how we were able to kind of give them a democracy at some point during the war.
Is this the Kurds?
That would be the Kurds, right?
We were able to, go in, help them, and then actually establish a democracy there. So I think his point was, why can we not go in and help the rest of the country to establish democracy so that these people can live, a life where they're not in fear or they don't have to, basically...
It comes down to how much should we really be doing for other countries.
Exactly.
Well, I know, I get that.
And people don't want to be at war constantly.
They don't.
I know-
also,
I
a lot of these
understand that
countries
too.
don't always want our help.
No.
In
I
big
understand
quotation
that too.
marks.
You
That's
have-
what I'm
we
saying.
have to-
He just makes a very persuasive argument, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying, like, the problem with the Middle East region in general is their religion, which is their dominant form of life, is about 700 years culturally behind where Catholicism and Christianity is in the Western world.
It hasn't had its New Testament, which is what I was talking about that one time with your house when you were getting upset with me.
I'm saying that they're about 700 years or so behind where we were at. So this is like their Inquisition period right now, is what they're going
I
through.
think this is his point, though, is that with these changes that we are trying to force upon these people, there's going to be some backlash, and we have the responsibility to deal with that.
I don't think we...
If you tell these people that they need to change the way that they have been for hundreds and hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, they're going to get mad and they're going to attack, and we need to
Acknowledge this
and enforce, or go to war with
Okay,
them.
but if we're not there, they can't attack us. So we just get the hell out.
We
Well,
can't-
that's
we
not
have
true.
to,
I mean, they attacked us in
we
9/11 and we
cannot
weren't there.
go around enforcing our cultural values on other people. We can't be doing it. We have to let them come to this on their own.
I disagree
No,
with
but
that. At some point, you have to enforce your morals.
I don't think so.
When we heard
Not-
that there was a dude in whatever country, blowing up little kids, at some point you have to step in and say something and do something. If there is a warlord in Africa who decides to commit genocide, at some point you got to go, okay, guys, we have to do something.
At what point, though?
I don't know.
And what
I'm
makes
not...
us decide to go into one place and take a tyrant out there and go to another place and not?
Well, that
I'm
was
not
my
able
that
to
was
do
my
it.
huge argument was, Iraq wasn't really the best. Even the whole Middle East isn't really. I don't see why it's our fault, because if that was the case where we have to go in and be the moral high ground, we'd be in North Korea right now, where there's tons of poverty and
Well, the problem
terrible,
is
and
that
there's
they-
terrible dictator in charge. We'd be in North Korea right now if that was the case.
But
if
they
we
have
were really,
China on their side.
Did
so
you guys
that's
see
the
that
problem.
article?
well, we'd be in China right now. They're a communist country.
We could not take on China right now.
Bitch. Did you guys see that article where like, is it Kim Jong? Is it Un now?
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong Un said like, sarcasm is banned now.
Yes, I did
Sarcasm
see
is
that.
banned in North
Sarcasm
Korea?
is banned.
Sarcasm is banned in North Korea.
God, I would be arrested
Didn't
so
he also
quick.
try to make everyone get his haircut at one point?
I don't think that was true.
I thought
but
that
he
was
did,
real.
He did ban sarcasm.
What is his haircut? I don't even remember.
Bowl cut, basically.
Oh, he's got the bowl cut?
He's got the shaved sides with the bowl cut coming down.
Oh.
You know how we have like the like new douche thing now? It's like shaved sides with a really long top, but it goes one way. He has that, but it's split down the middle.
Oh my god.
He looks like a dork.
Okay, is it just me? I don't know if this is correct, but wasn't it like in North Korea, their dictator is considered a god,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, he's considered to be really, really great and powerful.
Yeah, he's divine. He's absolutely divine.
He's divine.
Yes.
So, okay, I'll say that's the point. That's the point when we should step in.
What are the dumb things I think that like Kim Jong Il did? Where, like, he invented like jump roping or something dumb like that.
Well, I mean, they say
Comes
that
out
stuff
and
all the
says
time.
lots of things like that, yeah.
When you're manipulating people to that extent, yeah, maybe step in, do something.
Maybe when religion plays a part and people start to believe this stuff.
I'm saying you might have a point, but you have to consider global ramifications. We cannot do anything to North Korea because of China.
No, we can't just go in. But if you want to draw a moral line in the sand where this is the general rule of when we should be doing things, let's have that be one of them.
Right.
This is a much more complex issue than that. We cannot be the moral police. We can condemn actions and want people to follow our example, but we cannot go around enforcing our cultural values on people. It's just going to breed more resentment.
But we did
But we
have a part to play in this, though. We do need to take some responsibility.
Which we have been doing.
As human beings, also, we need to be able to make decisions, know what is morally right and wrong. Not know for certain, but have a general idea that, hey, maybe killing mass amounts of people for no reason isn't a good thing, Jordan.
And when that happens in circumstances that we can control and go into and correct, we do. But I'm saying there are much more global ramifications going on than just being able to say, hey, we're going to take down this person. We have to take into account what will happen if we take this person down. Yes, it's a tragedy, but we have to think about the region. If we can take this person down, what that will cause, who's going to come into power. If we take this person down, what is that person going to do when they do take power, when we take down their current leader? This is a much larger thing than just trying to impose a moral compass on people.
Because it's not one single person that we're trying to take down.
No.
It's a
nothing
whole
easy.
belief. It's a whole ideology
I'm
that
not
we're
saying
Well,
trying
you
to get rid
can't.
of.
You
Fix.
can't attack an ideology. You can't.
Why not?
Yes, you can.
Why not?
You know how you attack an ideology? You talk to them. You start a conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever try and talk to a Jehovah's Witness?
I have not had the opportunity, but I think I would.
Talking to Jehovah's Witness gets you nowhere. It just doesn't work.
I would at least give it a go.
So I guess it turns out we're not going to be solving the crisis in the Middle East either, huh?
Damn it! I thought I had something there for a minute.
Is that a Smirnoff Ice there, Justin?
Oh, I think it is.
Oh, man, he's been iced.
Welcome to 2010.
Get on your knees and chug, bitch.
The eventual... We're going to say their name so much, they're going to end up having to be the sponsor of this crap, of this stuff.
Well, you said Smirnoff, and we said Beefeater.
If we get a sponsorship from Beefeater, that'd be like a dream come true.
We've mentioned...
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Stop it. Let's see. So there's Smirnoff, Mountain Dew, Doritos. I mentioned the Death Note wiki. Whatever podcast you listen to where you pulled your article from.
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
He's just throwing that out there because he's drinking one.
What about did you guys hear about the Dakota pipeline?
Oh,
No, what
yes.
about,
Yes.
It's going through the Indian reservation, now it's not?
They
Or they're-
halted. They
they halted
halted construction right now. And Jill Stein was there. No other presidential candidate was there, but Jill Stein was there.
Lawrence O'Donnell was there.
Hey, but
My
he's
man.
not a
He's not a
presidential
presidential
candidate.
candidate, no.
But
But
Jill Stein is,
they did work
and
with-
her VP.
Guys, I think
Presidential
we have-
candidates don't get arrested.
I think
She
we
didn't
have-
get arrested.
Wait, she got
and
arrested.
why not? Why is that
Protesters
such a
get
bad
arrested
thing?
all the
She's
time.
protesting. Why is that
I
a
don't
bad
have a
thing?
problem with that.
It's not, especially when you had
'Cause-
hired mercenaries who had guard dogs that were attacking the protesters. 6 protesters were bit by dogs. You know?
James got a little cheat sheet.
Jordan,
Got cheat sheet.
I'm just saying this
Presidential-
whole election
You just
cycle
hate Jill
has,
Stein.
yeah, because she's an idiot.
Well, okay, that's just
you treat
subjective.
Hillary Clinton like she's
That
royalty.
is subjective.
No,
yeah.
that is not
Subjective.
true.
You treat her like she's royalty. You treat her like she's part of the Clinton estate.
She
and
is
like
Queen Hillary.
because she's Hillary Clinton, she wouldn't be bothered with getting arrested by the police like some
I'm sa-
commoner.
Listen, Jill Stein was there with the protesters, actually caring for the environment, while Hillary Clinton
And doing
is
what she
appointing
believes in.
Ken Salazar, who is, pro-fracking to her campaign. So, at least Jill Stein is actually doing something for the environment, which Hillary Clinton is not.
All I'm saying is having a warrant out for your arrest is not a presidential quality to have. All
Why
I'm
not?
saying.
Why not?
Sometimes
For protesting.
I like it.
For protest peacefully.
I
You
don't
know
like
why?
it.
You know why? You know why
'Cause she
she's getting arrested?
peacefully
Because she
protested?
spray painted a construction. She spray painted construction equipment because she didn't want the construction equipment to knock down or Native American tribe in North Dakota. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think she did the right thing.
Sure.
In general.
I don't want her to be president, but it's great that she's out there protesting
She's
and
definitely a
doing
good
what
person.
she feels is necessary.
And has morals that she'll show to the public.
And has morals that she show to the public, which I'm told you, Jordan, I'm really having trouble with Hillary more and more.
What? What did she do now? Tell me what she did now.
I told you, just everything. Every time I turn around, there's, what's bothering the most is that the liberals will not say, yes, she's fucked up here, or yes, or they have to defend everything that she does, try and put a good spin on it.
It's so frustrating,
and not
right?
everything she does is good.
It's
I'm
so
sorry.
frustrating, right? Just
And
hearing the
liberals
one-sided
will
opinions.
just not have it. They will not have it. They will not have you saying that she does anything wrong. And I don't. She is the ultimate politician, which I don't like. You know that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to vote for her because I can't vote for Donald Trump. Simple as that. That guy is a fucking
But
idiot.
let's think about this. The only reason she's going to become president is because the Republican candidate is that fucking bad.
Correct.
That's
Nobody
the
likes
only
her. Nobody
reason.
trusts her.
Yes,
The
nobody
majority
likes
of the
her, nobody
population
trusts
doesn't
her. Yes,
trust
the
her,
majority
doesn't
does
like
not
her.
trust her. Yeah.
It's just a bad election.
It's
Who cares?
insane how we have two people running for president that nobody likes.
It
The-
is very weird.
The shame is that Donald Trump is the Republican, because that is the whole reason why Hillary has not come more to the left. She has stayed completely center with what she normally does, because Donald Trump, she just assumes is going to fuck up on his own, that she doesn't come and try to get the left vote. She doesn't even
She
care.
doesn't care about the left vote anymore. She assumes you're in her pocket.
That's true.
Yeah, she assumes that you have
There's
no other choice.
There is no other choice.
And that's it. That's what is so
You can vote
infuriating.
for the Green Party, maybe get them a high enough percentage so that maybe next year they get funding, and then maybe they can have a better candidate and a better chance at winning next year.
In any other year where the Republican candidate wasn't a total fucking idiot, I would say fine.
I think the fact that he is a total fucking idiot is more reason too, because not everyone in Congress or in the House is gonna agree with what he's doing, Republicans and Democrats alike. So nothing might he might
Nothing
get
will get
nothing
passed
passed
again?
He might get absolutely nothing
No,
passed.
we'll have a stalemate again. That's also terrible.
Shut down.
but
Government
if it
shut down.
leads to change,
How is a stalemate for 4 more years, if not 8, ever going to lead to change?
because it will show the population that we need more choices in our election.
Yeah,
We need
but by
different stances, different people.
By
People
change,
like Bernie Sanders.
by change, I don't mean global nuclear destruction. That's the problem.
I don't think she'll. I don't think.
Who's he gonna go to war with?
He'll go to war with anybody who he
China?
dislikes.
He will go to war with China
Why would he go to war with China?
because he likes Putin.
Okay.
He will go in with Putin and attack China. They will totally do it.
I don't think that would happen.
It would absolutely happen.
Yes, it could happen.
It's a possibility.
Could happen.
It
Speculating.
could
It's
happen,
more.
but I doubt
it's
it would
more,
happen.
I think we have a more important conversation to talk about besides nuclear destruction.
The other thing is, I don't remember
Shut
the last
up.
time China won a war.
Jeremy,
So,
let me ask you a question.
It's good odds for us.
Jeremy.
They lost to Japan how many fucking times? And look how much smaller Japan is. China's really not that good military-wise. I'm just saying if we did go to war, I think our odds are pretty good with China.
So, Jeremy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you know what a blumpkin is? Does everyone here know what that is?
So apparently this is going to be a thing. Jared every week is going to explain a sex term to us. Last week was what? Sounding?
Sounding. Put stuff in your dick hole.
So this week is what?
Blumpkin.
Okay. What is Blumpkin?
Alright, so as Urban Dictionary likes to define it, it is the skillful art form of getting your dick sucked while taking a shit.
Okay, hold up. Hold up. I feel like there's multiple steps to this process.
It's a skill
No.
in the art form.
Do you just shit the bed? Or do you like...
No,
make it-
you are
do
sitting on a toilet,
you convince-
taking a shit while getting head.
How do you convince the girl to go into the bathroom with you and suck your dick while you're shitting?
Some of them are willing.
Yeah, you just say, hey, Blumpkin, and she's like, hell yeah.
This is not very family friendly. That's all I got to say.
That's
So?
exactly the point.
Pumpkin, take your pants off, boy.
I hope all of my aunts and uncles hear me talking about getting your dick sucked while taking a shit.
So, Pudge, what's your favorite part of the Blumpkin?
Well, I personally have never experienced one, but I think it'd be really funny if you, like, she was mid-dick sucking and you heard the little plop from the turd hitting the water.
I think it'd be even funnier if, like, you're trying to do a Blumpkin and, like, instead of pooping, you just fart real loud and she ends up disappointed.
I just couldn't do it to the lovely lady. I just feel so bad that she had to smell that.
Those are two sensations that I never want to experience together.
I'm with you on that one, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not opposed, I guess.
All right, are we going to wrap it up on that?
I think so. I think that's
All
the
right,
great
we're going to
place
wrap it
to
up
stop
on that.
Oh God.
I can't wait for Mom to listen to this.
I want to thank everybody for listening. Please, again, follow us on Twitter. Check us out on our website or check us out on Facebook. YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
There you go. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also, we will be putting in the description links to articles that we have read off or have looked at throughout the week, as well as we will be reading comments if you do decide to leave one. Like our one comment that
Like
we
our
got,
one
Trump
comment.
2016. Great comment. Chaos campaign. I'm right with you, buddy. Yeah, and we love the feedback, and we're hoping to just keep improving the quality as we go.
And we'll try and do a better job next week.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks
Have
for
a good
listening.
week.
Why is your clothes already on?